So, you're thinking of forming an LLC in Arkansas, but don't know where to start. You're in the right place. Whether you're doing it all yourself or enlisting help along the way, we promise it's less scary than it feels right now. Today, we'll go through these 6 steps to take in order to create an LLC and how to avoid hassles, scams, or fines. Step 3 is a full walkthrough for filling out your LLC application, so save it for later if you want to check your work, or skip right to it if that's what you came for. Step 1, choose a name for your LLC. The first step, choosing a name, is one of the most fun parts in my opinion, but it also ends up being the #1 cause for filing rejections, so pay attention. There are 2 basic rules to follow when choosing a name for your LLC in Arkansas. 1, the name of the LLC must contain the words Limited Liability Company or Limited Company, or the abbreviation LLC or LC with or without periods. Limited may be abbreviated as LTD, and company may be abbreviated as CO. Unless authorization is obtained from the Arkansas Secretary of State, the name of the LLC must be distinguishable from the name of any other business entity authorized to do business in Arkansas. That includes any name reserved for later use by anyone. To ensure your name is unique, you can run a business name search at the Arkansas Secretary of State's website. It's free to do, and it's best to do before you get too far in the process. You can learn more about the Arkansas naming guidelines by visiting our How to Start an LLC in Arkansas page, or by checking out Arkansas's name availability guidelines. One pro tip: if you found a name, and especially if you're reserving it, now is also a great time to reserve social media handles, email addresses, and a domain if you can find one for a low-risk price. We have links below to search for low-cost domains. It's a frustrating situation to want those items down the line and find out that they've been taken. Step 2, appoint a registered agent. Arkansas law requires an LLC to appoint a registered agent to accept service of process. This simply means the registered agent will receive legal notices on the LLC's behalf. For this reason, the agent must have an Arkansas street address and be available during regular business hours. Whoever you appoint should understand that their availability is crucial, and you should trust them to communicate regularly with you. You can be the registered agent for your LLC, and in fact, it's more or less standard to go this route. There are 2 things you should consider. The first is that you'll have to always be available at the registered office, which may be your home address, during regular business hours. Not being aware of some important deadline or paperwork, or that your LLC is being sued, is something that you really want to avoid. Also, the name and street address of a registered agent is public information that anyone can access for free through the state business lookup portal. Businesses and business owners find that this can result in, at a minimum, a fair amount of spam mail and solicitations. So you're going to need to appoint a registered agent, whether you do it yourself or you hire a service. The good news is that some LLC services offer free registered agent services for a year when you form an LLC with them. After that, the cost of registered agent services after the first year can range from about $10 a month to over $30 a month, depending on who you go with. We noticed that about 2/3 of our users elect a paid service to be the registered agent. If this is the route you're considering, know that we like to recommend Northwest Registered Agent Services. Your first year with them is free if you file your LLC through them, which is $29 plus the state fee. We have known them for a long time. They are highly trustworthy. They have best-in-class customer support staff that are highly knowledgeable, no sales staff. You really can't compare what they offer to other large corporations that do registered agent stuff. If you want to learn more about what they offer and why we recommend them, like their data and security policies, their mail scanning service, etc., you can check out our review here in the description. You can also check out our comparison videos where we stack them up against other service providers, as well as our reviews of other services if you'd like to understand what other companies offer. To sign up with Northwest, you can follow the link below for a discount. At TRUiC, our mission is to offer all our resources and information for free, but we support our work by using affiliate links, meaning we earn a commission on many of the deals we've negotiated for you. Full transparency, Northwest is one such commissioned partner. Step 3, file the Certificate of Organization. The next step, filing the Certificate of Organization on Form LL-01 with the Arkansas Secretary of State, is a major one. This is the form that actually creates your LLC, so congrats. Once approved, your LLC becomes a legal entity with the power to hold property, enter in contracts, hire employees, and much more. The Certificate of Organization also places on public record certain important information about the LLC. Line 1 is the name of the LLC. Line 2 is the address of the main office. And line 3 documents the name and address of the registered agent, as we know. Line 4 requires you to provide the name and position title of at least one officer. An officer of the LLC is a member, manager, or other person who has the authority to be responsible for honoring the LLC's franchise tax commitments. There's a second sheet attached to the Certificate of Organization, which you will fill out after you get your EIN or federal tax ID number. More on that in step 5. This sheet needs to be filled out around the time of your formation so that your annual franchise tax report can be sent to you every year. This page includes the name and address of the LLC, a street address or P.O. box is acceptable, a telephone number, and the LLC's federal tax ID number are also required. Upon completion, the certificate must be signed by at least one organizer, and that is a person with the authority to register an Arkansas LLC. The Certificate of Organization can be filed by mail or in person. You can simply download Form LL-01 shown above and complete it. You can submit it to this address and attach the filing fee of $50 payable to the Arkansas Secretary of State. The Certificate of Organization can also be filed online at the Arkansas SOS Corporation's online filing system. Online filing costs less. The filing fee is $45, and it's more convenient as well. There's no need for postage or delivery. The online form is simply an electronic version of the paper one we went through, and payment by bank card is accepted. If your LLC has been set up in another state, but you want to register to do business in Arkansas, this requires filing an online application for a certificate of registration of foreign LLC at the Arkansas SOS Corporation's online filing system and paying the $300 filing fee. Say that 10 times fast. I did. Step 4, create an LLC operating agreement. In Arkansas, an operating agreement is a contract between members that covers the activities and affairs of the LLC, as well as how it is to be managed. The operating agreement doesn't legally need to be in writing. It could just be an oral agreement, but putting the agreement on paper is the sensible thing to do. A written agreement will offer clarity and authority. Even if you're the sole member of the LLC, it's a good idea to have a written operating agreement because it may be the only document that shows that you own the LLC. Drawing up a written agreement forces members or managers to think through various scenarios and include terms that address those scenarios, such as bringing on new members or how responsibilities are split. It's much better to have these rules in place ahead of time rather than having to come up with rules and potentially arguing when a crisis develops. Note also that a copy of the written operating agreement is generally required when opening a business bank account or applying for a loan, so it might be considered necessary. To help you put together an operating agreement, we've provided a free template on our Arkansas LLC operating agreement page. You'll find the link in the description below. You'll also find all the other links to other important tools there as well. Step 5, obtaining an LLC EIN or Employer Identification Number. The next step is to obtain an LLC EIN, which is a federal tax identification number. This unique number allows the IRS to identify and track your business's tax and filing status. You'll need the EIN to open a business bank account and if you plan to hire employees. The process is super simple and completely free of charge through the IRS. Just fill out the online form and submit. It takes about 10 minutes. Big note here. As we know, Google gives lots of sponsored and confusing results. Even though EINs are a federal process, the Google results for file an EIN online are flooded with spam and scam sites, and often their URLs look legit. If you only click one link in the description today, make it the File an EIN link. It goes straight to the federal website. Bookmark it. Please be very wary of where you put sensitive information. You can also find all official state and federal links on the guides on our site. Step 6, we're almost done. Filing a beneficial ownership information report. The BOI report is a new reporting requirement under the Corporate Transparency Act that took effect in 2024. Certain business entities are now required to disclose their owners' names and addresses to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN. The purpose is to clamp down on the use of legal business structures, like the LLC, for money laundering and other illegal activities. The penalties for failure to file the report or including inaccurate information in the report are steep. There is a fine of $591 a day for overdue reports and imprisonment for up to 2 years for deliberately filing false information. We have a guide for filling it out. It's super simple and there's no filing fee. If you have an operating agreement, then you basically already have all the info ready to go. Post-formation steps. After you've created your LLC, there are some important things to remember. Annual franchise taxes are due every single year before May 1st. Avoid fees, penalties, interest, or at worst, a revoking of your ability to conduct business by making sure this gets done every single year. If you don't have an EIN, use the Arkansas SOS business lookup to find your filing number. Although you are the owner of an LLC and the one who created it, the LLC is a separate legal person. Since the LLC is really the entity that owns the business, it's important to avoid treating the LLC's assets and transactions as if they're your personal assets and transactions. Doing so may allow anyone suing the LLC, should that unfortunate circumstance arise, to go after your personal assets. This is known as piercing the corporate veil of the LLC. Your LLC should have a separate banking account. And that's one way to keep your personal finances distinct from your business finances. For the same reason, the LLC should have its own debit or credit card. Consider the risks your business will face and purchase coverage for the ones best covered by insurance. And don't forget that some kinds of insurance, for example, workers' compensation, are compulsory by state law. And finally, when you're able to, consider hiring an accountant who will not only keep the books for your LLC, but provide guidance on financial matters. And that's it. You've now learned everything that you need to know about setting up an LLC in Arkansas. All the resources mentioned in this video can be found in the description below. If we missed one, leave us a comment. We listed a lot of them. We hope you found this video really useful. And to find out more, you can explore the rest of our channel and website for free resources and guides to start your Arkansas business. We welcome comments and questions, so leave them for us here. Also consider joining our YouTube membership tier. We just launched it. If you want priority replies in the comments, that's how you get it. We'll answer all your questions. Best of luck. Goodbye.